again, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of Can I Just Say? We are continuing the series on shadow work, and this episode will be called Becoming Your Own Mirror. So, first, for an astrology update, there really isn't one. We had the new moon in Gemini yesterday, which I spoke about on my last episode. But new moons are all about building new intentions. So Gemini is very good with communication and thoughts and ideas and things like that, being ruled by Mercury. So look for new ways to think, to imagine, to dream, to build on those dreams. Very air energy type of stuff. So if you tuned into the last episode, you know that we started unpacking the question, what is the shadow really? We talked about how the shadow isn't something to fear or to fix, that it's something to meet with honesty and compassion. So today I want to take it a step deeper. In this episode, it's a bit more personal. I'm going to let you in on some of my own reflections as I continue doing the shadow work myself in real time. So let's dive in. When I think back to my childhood, I can't really point to one specific moment that defined everything, but I do remember feeling neglected. Not necessarily in the sense of my physical needs not being met, but emotionally. My parents were dealing with a lot, especially when it came to getting justice for my dad. My dad has a very long history of information that I wish to this day I could still talk to him about, but it's an episode that I will definitely touch on at some point. But I often felt like I had to be the easy child, the one that they didn't have to worry about, the one who stayed out of trouble so that they could focus on more important things. I grew up pretty sheltered with pretty strict parents. I was my mom's only child and the youngest for my dad, so they were both pretty protective of me in their own ways. That sort of shaped me into the anxious, overthinking, low-maintenance adult that I am now. I became adaptable and agreeable even when it made me anxious. And because I got so used to being told what to do, I still catch myself repeating those relationship patterns that was all I knew by looking for someone to guide me and give me direction. I haven't yet fully stepped into the role of leading myself. I learned how to put my needs aside. I became obsessed with being there for other people. I molded my life around other people's needs, around their schedules and their priorities. And I still do this sometimes because we unconsciously and consciously repeat those relationship patterns. The cost? My ambition disappears. My goals feel foggy. I start waiting until I have fulfilled my role in their life and I'm left with no other choice but to move on. It's almost like I distract myself away from choosing my life and my direction so I don't have to claim it and fulfill it myself. Here's the hardest part. I crave love and support and being seen, but at the same time, I resist it. When someone tries to give me space to express myself without judgment, I question it. That's basically the kind of people I surrounded myself with in the past, so I automatically assume that's the intention of everyone. I wonder if they're just doing it because they expect something in return. I worry that I'm being a burden. I'm not afraid of vulnerability. I'm afraid of someone having to carry my pain for me. Growing up, having big feelings was dangerous territory. Both of my parents were emotionally immature, especially my dad, with his story, he had to grow up very fast. He had a lot to deal with in his teen years. So they both kind of had their own emotional immaturity in ways. So anytime I had big feelings that came up, I was constantly asked, well, what are you crying about now? Or told that I had an attitude whenever I would try to explain them and couldn't find the words. That's when I would feel rushed and dismissed. And that taught me to suppress myself and to stay small. Even now, I find myself having moments where I want to share, where I try to be open, but it feels like people are only listening to respond and not connect. It feels more performative instead of supportive. I long for those deep connections because I never had them growing up in my family. If I picture my inner child sitting in front of me now, she would probably be worried about me. Not in a judgmental way, but more so concerned. Because I've lost some of my spark, and I've lost sight of my direction. But I know I would give her the freedom she never had. I'd let her feel all of her feelings without needing to explain them. I'd let her be loud and imaginative and bold. I'd remind her, you don't have to become this version, but even if you do, we can still change. I've realized lately that one of the biggest traits that I picked up, especially after getting married so young, like straight from home to marriage, is the belief that I need someone else to help me survive. And this was a huge eye-opener for me, something that I've been kind of sitting with for the past couple of days that's been really tough to look at because a lot of feelings have come up with this. But I've noticed that I feel that I need someone to provide financially for me to keep me afloat. I watched both of my parents struggle, working themselves to the bone just to get by. And I internalized the idea that making money is hard, that life has to be hard. So now I find myself lacking motivation to work because I'm fine with settling for only what I can afford. I'm still not putting myself first. I watch them work so hard just to have everything ripped away from them, to have their lives ripped away from them. I'm so used to other people paying for the things that I have. I still hold the fear that no matter how hard I work, it won't be enough. I feel shame because I didn't fight more in my marriage to work outside of the home or to get a degree, if for no other reason than for the experience. So here I am, almost 40, with very little real world experience to show potential employers. I don't look good on paper, even if I know I'm good at what I claim. I've been carrying this victim mentality around working for so long, not recognizing a lot of the depth of it. So it has brought up a lot of shame and guilt and a lot of that lack mindset that good things are not meant for me. And that's a belief that I don't want to carry anymore. I want to unlearn the idea that I'll be abandoned if I start working or pursuing something for myself. I want to unlearn that I have to work myself to death to have anything meaningful. I want to unlearn that having a quote-unquote normal job is the only way. I want to remember that I am a healer, that I have something powerful and unique to give to this world. Here is where it all loops back. My main goal in life is to help other people love, validate, and empower themselves to live the life that they want to live. The hardest part is I don't fully believe that's obtainable for me. I can help everyone else get there, but I haven't fully stepped into that belief for myself. This is the mirror. So I've been asking myself, what would change if I truly believed I could have what I help others build? What would change if I completely let go of fear? Who would I be without fear? What if I could become my own mirror instead of just being it for everyone else? When I imagine this version of me that's no longer run by fear, I see someone who isn't afraid to live, someone who's confident and magnetic and powerful because she knows exactly where she's going. She's not overworking or settling. She's serving, she's healing, and she's walking her path with grace and fire. I'm really starting to see that life as real, as possible, as mine. We are here to reclaim possibility, where life doesn't just look good on the outside. A life that feels good from the inside out. One where your power is no longer dependent on how you can perform, but rises from within you, steady and certain. And if that's the work, I am here for it. Thank you so much for sitting with me through this one today. It was very deep and very raw and very real. It's not always easy to talk about this stuff, but it's always, always worth it. Until next time, keep doing the work, and remember, your shadow isn't your enemy. It's the part of you that's been waiting to be seen. I'll see you next week.